I've done some guest lecturing about utilising LinkedIn at Greenwich University. They've not invited me back for a while. I don't know why. But ever since I said that thing about Happy Fate Come Back to Life Day on Easter morning. But, anyway, the idea that I try and get people to think about is, if you imagine McDonald's, how often do you see a McDonald's ad that is very specific, aimed at you going to buy one of their products? Yes, they'll tell you about their new products that are coming on, but the vast majority of their advertisement is based on the British and Irish beef. It's that that you hear on the radio. It's the golden arches that you drive past all the time. You're coming into contact with the McDonald's brand 5, 10, 15, 20 times a day without you realising that you're doing it. So when your belly goes, I'm bloody hungry, and you're on the motorway and you see the services and there's a little golden arches, your brain's already going, I'm going to have a Big Mac. Yeah. They've done the pre-sale to you already. They've not got to stand at the road, go, come and buy our burgers, because they've already had those soft points of contact with you throughout that whole journey. And that's what brands don't understand, is I don't have to stand there with me wang out going, come and do this, come and do this, come and do this, for them to finally go, oh, I want to go and do Chris's wang. It doesn't work like that. It's about building up trust and rapport and knowledge and correspondence and communication with something. So when they get to the point of their buyer journey where they start making conscious buying decisions, they're now going, oh, I already, Jay, he does the podcast stuff.
He does those podcast guys. I know those guys. Yeah. Who does proper link? Oh, wait. Yeah, right. Exactly.
There you go. Yeah.
But that is the point.
That's the point. Yeah.
And do you think it's frequency? Because like previous marketing didn't have the like constant frequency that us social lovers have. Like, beforehand you would, as you mentioned print before, right? Anyone who's ever done a print run before knows that they come up with the idea, a week later, 2 weeks later, it's designed, and then you go back for amends, and then it gets sent to some dude who wants bleed lines and things, and then the boxes of them arrive weeks later, right? So that campaign is 2 months old, or that concept is like 2 months old by the time you get them and start giving them to people, right? Whereas
half of that stays in the box because you never end up sending it out.
Oh yeah, how many boxes of pens did I used to have to pull out the way to get to a piece of paper that I needed?
Yeah, exactly. But you are right. But the one I don't know what the stat is, but I think the number banding around is 10,000. You're receiving 10,000 pieces of sale information per day, or that's through advertisements on lorries, in your car, the radio, reading the book, listening to the radio, taking your kids to the school. It is absolutely everywhere. Yeah. So we've switched off. How many times could you say today you've seen a McDonald's a picture or something like that? You'd probably go, I don't know, one. Chances are, if you've travelled the street, you've probably done it 4 or 5 times.
Bus stops.
You've probably heard it 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
So subconsciously, we're not necessarily on a conscious buying decision. We are subconsciously still being sold to.
Yeah.
So when we do start going from passive to actually active in terms of our buying decision, we've already got something in our head that's going, oh, remember such and such. Remember such and such. You've got a familiarity with it. So the fact that social media is now, and I'm branding social media with all of the channels, including LinkedIn and that sort of stuff, and internet marketing as well. Because there is so much data being thrown at us 24/7, we're learning to switch off, or we're learning to ignore.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that we as marketers should stop sending that information out.
Yeah.
Because we don't know when they're going to switch off, and they don't know when we're going to want to sell, and vice versa. So we've got to still be relevant and consistent. Otherwise, if you shoot one bird in the sky with a shotgun, there's not a good chance. Depending on how good a shot you are, you might get it. You've got a flock of them. You guaranteed to take 1 or 2 out with a gun.
Right?
So you've got to keep doing more and more and more and more to get that. Exactly.
Absolutely. And even if people are switched off, like you say, because we've been bombarded constantly, that is the reason to make a different noise that Chris is talking about, right? That is the whole point. And it seems like, I know when I talk to people, they're like, yeah, but what? How do I do that? Like, we're just recruiters, we're just plumbers, we're just this, we're just that. And I always say, like, document, don't create. Like, the stuff you do day to day is so cool to me. Like, even in our business, right? I don't know how to do any of the stuff that all the guys do. It's all very clever. There's Adobe happening, there's lines and things. Every time I look over someone's shoulder, I'm like, it's the Matrix. This is so cool. You're just going to make something happen, right? That is the same in every business. But chances are it's wood for trees, right? You're like, we're an accountant, but we always file tax early, or we always do that. We always have. Like, this is just what we do. That's the magic which sets you apart from the other 15, 20 different accountants that I find when I search accountants near me.
Whenever somebody says, "Oh, what my life's not interesting," or "Why would this be boring?" It's not for them. If I'm being brutally honest, it's not for me to tell you whether my life's boring or not. It's for you to decide whether it is.
Exactly.
It's the same when we create a piece of content. It tickles me that there's an air of ego and arrogance with some people that create content and go, "That was a fucking good piece of content I created. Why is no one liking it? That's stupid." You don't get to say whether it's good, mate. Your audience does. So,
exactly.
And it's exactly the same process with what we're talking about there.
Yeah. And the thing is all of those messages, chances are you've nailed on. You know what, good stuff. Like, you're saying it. Even if your business is a year old, you've done the stuff. You've sold something. Someone's loved it. Like, that's the thing to be talking about. And it doesn't have to be like, recently we sold a service to Chris and Chris really enjoyed it. And hi, I really enjoyed it. Right? You don't have to have that. It can be, have you ever had this problem? Because recently I played with it with someone else and we fixed it in this way. It's just about how you come at it, and to try and let not even a little bit, but just let the personality flow through, because I will work with who I want to work with, not necessarily who I need to work with, which once upon a time was the case.
Which and you know what, we are both and I bless my stars every day. We are both of us very fortunate that we're in positions to be able to tell people to fuck off if we don't want to work with them. And that autonomy of what we want to do, our life, that lifestyle thing, for me has been the whole purpose of wanting to be doing my own thing. Is, if somebody's a dick and they're going to come and say,
we may have lost Chris for a little moment. I'm going to finish off for him, though. If they're going to come and say, "Hey, you're an idiot. I don't want to work with you, Chris. You suck. You suck, Chris." Then Chris can turn around and be like, "I don't suck. You suck. Who sucks? You suck." Okay. And then everything can fall to pieces. What I'm really enjoying is just how frozen his face is. That's good fun. But it really is a case of, if you're looking to try and find the messaging, if you're looking to try and find out, like, what do we say? What makes us different from the other business, which is just like us? The people. You have already invested in the thing which makes it different. And I know it's an old adage, but people do. Mr. Chris, I was feeling hard about how people buy from people. How's the Gatorade treating you? And I'm going to finish my thought as Chris jumps back in. So people buy from people, and we know that. And if you've got salespeople out there, then you've already invested in the concept that you're going to let people go out and own your message, right? You're going to let people go out and actually take it out there and talk to the wider world about what you do in their own way. Don't limit that, right? Don't limit that just to the person making the phone calls, because they cannot make as many phone calls as there are eyeballs on social. As Chris said there, we're all getting hammered by 10,000 different connection requests and sales messages a day. Well, if that's the case, then you have to have that human connection. I don't buy because someone sends me something I need. I put it on a list saying, "Hey, I might need that soon." What I do buy from is someone who's spoken to me and built a relationship with me and can turn around and say, "Hey, Jay, I know you like this and I know you need it. So this is the thing you should use." Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Chris Williams. How you doing, sir?
How you doing? My phone just went, "Your phone is getting hot. We're fucking off now." What? So I've put the engine on. We've got the aircon on, blowing on the back of the phone. Hopefully, we've got a bit of time before my phone explodes. There we go.
Amazing.
Sorry about that.
No worries at all.
Not the best laid plans, was it, today?
Of mice and men, and I don't know any men, damn it.